everyone and welcome back to the channel. Guys, the Panama Canal, a marvel of human engineering, a vital artery of global trade, and now the center of a growing geopolitical storm. But this time it's not just about the water levels or the ship delays. It's about the Donald Trump. Yes, and his stunning call to take back the Panama Canal. So, guys, what's behind this bold threat? Is it all about the political theater, or is Trump serious about reclaiming one of the America's most historic engineering triumphs? Today, we deep dive into the reasons why Trump wants to take back the Panama Canal and how the global trade war, China's rising influence, and a looming economic standoff are all colliding at one narrow strip of water. So, guys, let's unpack the history, the drama, and the real reasons behind Trump's renewed focus on the Panama Canal. So, first, let's see about the crisis which is already brewing. Before Trump even made the headlines with his remarks, the Panama Canal was already in trouble. So, what was the issue? Over the past few years, it's been battered by extreme weather. Droughts driven by the tropical Pacific warming have triggered a water crisis in Panama Canal, forcing the authority to limit ship traffic and reduce the daily transits. That means the ship delays. That means the bottlenecks. And yes, that means the billions in lost global revenue. But now the situation is also getting worse over time because Trump's newly announced 145% tariffs on Chinese imports, part of his so-called Liberation Day trade offensive, are already shaking up the global shipping. These tariffs are scheduled to start impacting goods arriving from China around May 27, right as vessels currently at sea complete their 4 to 6 week of journey, and the fallout, it's massive. According to data from Project 44, a supply chain intelligence firm, there has already been a 300% increase in blank sailings. That's cancelled freight ships between the China and the US since the Trump made his announcement in early April. Less goods are being manufactured in China means fewer containers being shipped to the US and other world. And fewer containers means fewer ships traveling through the Panama Canal. So, guys, this isn't just a theory, it's already happening. Now, why the canal matters to the US and the Trump? To understand why Trump cares so much about the canal, look at the members. And 40% of all the US container traffic moves through the Panama Canal. That's a $270 billion in cargo every year. Much of it bound for the East Coast ports like the New York, Savannah, and Charleston. The US and China are the top two users of the canal, and with the global supply chains already disrupted, the canal has only become more essential, not less. The Panama Canal Authority pulled in over $3.3 billion in revenue last year, even in the middle of a water crisis. But with the trade war heating up and shipping volume declining, that revenue is at almost risk. And according to the Panama Canal officials, any downturn in the US economy or even just in its trade volumes directly threatens the canal's stability. So, when Trump threatens to take back the canal, it's not just about the past, it's about the future. It's about the control over a strategic choke point that impacts the hundreds of billions of revenue in trade every year. Now, guys, let's see the Trump's real target, which is China. But let's not kid ourselves. Trump's anger isn't directed only at the Panama Canal, it's aimed squarely at China. Trump and his allies have repeatedly claimed that Chinese state linked companies are quietly expanding control over the ports surrounding the canal. In fact, in March of this year, a US-led investment group led by BlackRock announced a bold move that they are trying to purchase two parts at either end of the Panama Canal, plus about 40 other ports currently owned by Hong Kong-based CK Hudson. Why and what was the reason behind this? To push back against Beijing's growing footprint, Federal Maritime Commissioner Luis Sola warned earlier this year that China and Brazil have already taken $20 billion in contracts from the US in the region. And Senator Marco Rubio, now Trump's Secretary of State, even flew to Panama in February, touring the Miraflores locks himself. His message was loud and clear. The US is back and watching closely. Trump isn't just worried about who controls the toll booths. He sees Panama drifting into the China's orbit, and to him, that's a red line. So, guys, what's and can the US and Trump really take back it? So, here is the big question: can Trump actually take back the Panama Canal? Legally, we can say no. The United States voluntarily handed control to Panama through the Torrijos-Carter treaties in 1977, fully transferring operations by 2000. The canal is Panamanian territory now, and any unilateral attempt to seize it would be an act of aggression, potentially triggering a diplomatic and legal firestorm. But Trump rarely speaks in legalities. His statement isn't a literal military plan, it's a negotiating tactic, a warning, a shot across the bow. Trump wants leverage over China, over Panama, and over the global trade itself. By threatening to take back the canal, he is signaling that the US won't sit quietly while Chinese influence creeps closer to their home. So, this rhetoric also serves another purpose to rally his base. The Panama Canal represents lost American prestige. Trump's base sees it as yet another example of the US giving up the power. Now, might the economic uncertainty and foreign threats taking it back also sounds like strength, control, and a return to greatness. So, what was the Panama's response in this? Who is caught in the crossfire? What does Panama has to say about all this? Panama Canal Authority Chief uh, Rotary Rescues insists there is no favoritism, no secret Chinese control, and no differentiated pricing. The canal, he says, is open to the world and operates under a neutrality treaty signed with the US in 1977. Whatever is said in Washington has repercussions all over. Vasquez told reporters recently, "We try to stay cool, calm, and collected, but tensions are rising. Panama is stuck between two giants trying to maintain sovereignty while juggling US pressure and Chinese investment. The outcome of BlackRock's port bid may determine the next chapter in this story." So, guys, why does Trump want to take back the Panama Canal? This was our topic. Because it's not just a canal, it's a symbol, a battlefield in the global clash between the US and China, a flashpoint in the fight over trade, sovereignty, and strategic dominance. As Trump cranks up the heat on tariffs and trade, the canal becomes a more than a pass away. It becomes a pivot point forever and for power. And whether or not Trump can legally reclaim it, he's already brought it back to the center of the world state. So guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you understand the hidden battle over Panama Canal, be sure to like, share and subscribe for more deep dives into the global geopolitics. And let us know in the comments, do you think the US should reassert control over the canal, or is this just another distraction? Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.